Live with CDP, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast live on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and Anchor FM. Now here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live with CDP Sports Podcast on this Monday, August 15th, 2022. Hard to believe summer is almost over. And today is season 4, episode 21 of my podcast. This is my 186th show since March of 2020. And I'm looking forward to my guest today. The Northville, Michigan native is a left winger for the HPHL champion Hamilton Bulldogs, and his name is Ryan Humphrey. And we're going to talk about his hockey career in Michigan and about being drafted by the Hamilton Bulldogs in 2019. And then we'll talk about how hard it was with the pandemic shutting down the OHL for a year and a half as well. So I really look forward to speaking to Ryan and seeing if he's a Michigan or a Michigan State fan as well. So anyways, just give me 1 minute, guys, and I'm going to bring on Ryan Humphrey, number 22 for the OHL champion Hamilton Bulldogs. Good afternoon, Ryan. How are you doing?
Good, Chris. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. So how's your summer going?
It's going really well. It's obviously a short summer. Had the season went a little shorter. We had a little more time off, but I'm just enjoying it, working out, skating here and there, trying to get ready for the season, but seeing friends and family, getting out on the lake here in Michigan. It's a good time.
Yeah, I was going to say, and due to the pandemic, the Memorial Cup usually is at the end of May, but was pushed back a month. But you know what? That's a good thing because you guys were in the Memorial Cup. And I think that final game, unfortunately, didn't go your way, was on June 29th, which was my 50th birthday.
Well, happy 50th birthday.
Thanks. I was really hoping you guys would get that Memorial Cup. But you know what? You guys had a great season. And you know what? I've talked to other guys too. And personally, I think winning the OHL championship or a league championship is even more special because it takes a lot. You know this as well. Oh, yeah. It's a grind, a marathon to win 4 rounds. And the Memorial Cup tournament, I'm not dishing it by any means, but it's basically a 1-week tournament where who's ever playing the best and gets hot wins the cup.
Yeah. Both were great experiences, but definitely more of a grind. I would have to say that OHL championship run because you got 4 series to deal with, but Memorial Cup was highly competitive too. And I wish, like you said, we had a little more steam that last game, but what a great season overall, so can't complain.
Gotta ask you this anyways. Do you think the series against Windsor, which went the full 7, do you guys think that took a little gas out of you for the Memorial Cup?
Yeah, they battled. They never quit, so it was a tough series, and squeaking it out that game 7. We had 2 days, I think, before we flew out to St. John and started getting ready, so we were a little tired, but St. John's was a great team. They were all great teams there, so it was tough going in. Anyone could have won. So,
yeah, you guys had a tremendous playoff round. I guess the Eastern Conference, you swept the Peterborough Petes, who were a good team. You swept Mississauga, another solid team, and then you swept North Bay, and then you ran into the Windsor Spitfires, who basically made you guys really work and earn that OHL championship.
Yeah, no, definitely. Every team, like you said, was solid, and it was a grind no matter what, but that last series going 7 was definitely one of the toughest things I've experienced. So
I was going to say I was at game 5 at Hamilton, and I worked up in the press box. Yeah. I've never been in that press box before. They took me up on an elevator, and I looked, and I'm like, you're kidding me. That's a catwalk. Oh, yeah. If you fall down, it's like a couple hundred feet. So I had the guy Reese show me a back way to that media press box. It involved more stairs and huffing and puffing. I got to get into shape. But the back way to that press box is so much better than going on that catwalk. Have you been on that catwalk yet?
I have been on that catwalk, and it is terrifying up there.
So it's
I'm all right with heights, but that catwalk is very scary. So
Yes, that was an awesome experience covering Game 5. You guys happened to win 3-2. I posted a video from that game before the opening game with the fans, I guess, used their cell phone lights, and it was kind of cool. And I posted it on TikTok. 47,000 views.
really,
Yeah. Yeah, if you check my TikTok page, live with CDP on TikTok, you'll see it. It was game
that's sweet.
5. Yeah, it was. I just didn't think much of it, and I guess it went viral.
No, the atmosphere too, to touch on what you just said, was unbelievable. Like, for the game, after the game, during the game, our fans too. Credit to them. They make the atmosphere playing in Hamilton pretty cool. So
I was going to say, since the OHL Junior A returned to Hamilton 7 years ago, the organization's won 2 OHL championships in 7 years. That's pretty darn good. And I was going to say, it's nice to see the OHL do well in Hamilton. They've had other teams in the past, and they've unfortunately had to move. So I think long term, this franchise is in good shape.
yeah, it's Steve, Ann Lauer, our ownership, staff, coaching staff, Jay McKee, they do an unbelievable job. It's as professional and as pro hockey term, I guess we use. You can see the organization as a whole is only going up, and I'm blessed enough to have played my whole career there so far. So
I was going to say Michael Anlauer owned the AHL's Bulldogs before they moved, I think, to Laval, and he ended up moving the Belleville Bulls to Hamilton. And he was always a good owner in the AHL, and he's doing a tremendous job at Hamilton. And I'm so happy to see the OHL do well in Hamilton.
Yeah, no, he's awesome.
Now, I heard they're doing some renovations for the arena as well in the next year or two.
I'm not a part of that. I don't get into that. I have no clue what they're doing, but I would love to see something new or keep our facility. So
I was going to say, as a media person, I would like to see that press box lowered a little bit.
Yeah,
because I'm a big fan of
maybe some extra walls by the catwalk.
Yeah.
For you.
We're going to have to get Sandra to come up to Hamilton and go up that catwalk and see if she can do it.
Oh, I don't think she'll like it.
No. Okay. But she's watching. And again, I want to say thank you to Sandra Murray for putting me in touch with you. And very, very knowledgeable person. And
Awesome.
like I said, she's a huge hockey fan. I think I told her she's almost half Canadian.
Oh, she's everything. She knows everything. She could just be from everywhere. Who knows? She's been awesome for me too. So thank you, Sandra, if you're watching.
Definitely.
I know.
Hey, before we get into some questions, I got to ask you this. Since you're from Northville, Michigan, or I guess that's where you were born, which isn't far from Taylor, are you a Michigan Wolverines fan or a Michigan State Spartans?
So I'm a little torn because my whole life growing up, I was a Wolverine fan for sure. My mom went there, so we were like every Saturday, either go to the game or watch the game. But then my sister got her law degree through Michigan State. So she kind of turned me into a fan. So I don't know.
Both, a little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I don't know if that's an acceptable answer, but.
That's okay. I'm a Wolverines fan. I'm a Red Wings fan, Pistons, Tigers, and Wolverines. I've never been a Detroit Lions fan other than Barry Sanders.
I hope they're on the up and up.
I actually, you know what? I'm an Eagles fan, by the way, Philadelphia Eagles fan. But I really think the Lions are on the up and up. I think they got the right coach in there now.
Yeah.
And I think they need a little bit of stability. And I really do think the Lions, I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year, but I think they'll be more competitive. I think they'll be a 7 or 8 win team in 2022.
I hope so. I definitely hope so.
Have you been to a game yet at Ford Field?
I have. I actually went to my first one during our Christmas break this past year, and that was pretty cool. It was definitely a different experience, being in the dome, kind of watching football, I guess, in a dome. You're expecting it to be outside, and I've been to Patriots Stadium, which is Gillette.
Oh,
yeah.
How was that?
Gillette, so it was definitely different from Gillette. So it was cool though. I had a ton of fun.
I was going to say, as for my first NFL game, was in Detroit in December of '85 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan.
Silverdome, yeah, there you
So,
go.
saw the '85 Bears kill the Lions 46-17 at the Silverdome, which has been demolished since then. That was my first NFL game with my late father. So I do have a little bit of Detroit connection there.
Well, the game I went to, they actually beat the Cardinals, who were number 1 in the league at the time.
I think they were unbeaten, weren't they, at the time?
Yeah, they were unbeaten, and then the Lions upset them when I was there. So maybe I got to go to more games. You know, it could be good luck.
Now, did you see Tom Brady at Gillette Stadium or after Tom Brady left?
After.
Okay. I was going to say I was at Tom Brady's first NFL game back in July of 2000 before you were born at the Pro Football Hall of Fame game against the 49ers. Brady was the number 4 string quarterback, and I remember that game because I had food poisoning and I was trying to get through that game without throwing up, and he impressed me that day, and I still have his ticket stub from that game. I've been offered money for that too.
That must have been an experience.
Yeah,
good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not a Brady fan, but he is one of the best of all time. But I do have a little bit of, and plus he played for the Michigan Wolverines as well.
Yeah, he's
Definitely
my favorite of all time. I think he's the best of all time. Maybe a hot take, but
we got some comments from Sandra. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Sandra's also saying my nephews play both on Michigan and Michigan State University football teams. Okay, I guess we can't hold that against you. And in Sandra's case, either way, she's a winner with that. So
maybe my answer was good too.
Definitely. Hey, one of my favorite Detroit Tiger ball players of all time is from Michigan State, Kirk Gibson, number 23. So, did you ever see him play on any YouTube channels or any highlights?
Oh,
he played baseball the way he played football.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
I wish I could have saw him in person, but thankfully
intense.
YouTube has all the highlights. So.
Oh yeah, that's the one great thing about YouTube is even if you were born, I guess you were born in 2003, you can see stuff from the past before you were born, and that's a great tool because I wish they had that when I was born.
We're lucky. We're lucky we have the internet.
Yeah, this technology is amazing as well. So, anyways, first question I wanted to ask you, Ryan, is can you tell my audience here in Guelph, which your opening game is against the Storm on September 30th at the Sleeman Center. Can you just tell my audience in Guelph just a little bit about yourself, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm a left winger, play for the Hamilton Bulldogs in the Ontario Hockey League. I'm 19 years old, 2003 birth year. I started out playing AAA my whole life in Detroit area, Little Caesars, Honeybaked, Bell Tire, all the local teams here. And when I was about 16, I kind of had to make the decision of which junior team I wanted to go to and move away from home. And for 2 months, I actually played in Muskegon of the United States Hockey League. So I decided I went to Hamilton's camp in 2019. Yeah, 2019 summer. And I just fell in love with it and told my parents I want to sign the Ontario Hockey League and not go to school. And my first year, it was tough. It was about 5'8", 145, 150 pounds, and got a little stronger the next summer. COVID year, just kept training and working through that, and came in and had a pretty good season, and we ended up winning it. So it was all worth it, and here I am today. So
I was going to say, yeah, being in Michigan, especially some of these young guys, they have a choice. They can come over to Ontario to play the Ontario Hockey League or go to Michigan or Michigan State. But one thing about the OHL, people don't realize, a lot of fans don't realize, that the players do get an education package with the OHL teams.
Yeah, and my mother, if she's watching, she definitely would not let me skip out on school. She's always been hard on me about that, and I still take a college class every summer, and that was her one rule. She said, you're going to get your education no matter what you do. So make Mama Bear happy, and everything should be good. So
I was gonna say, is she a big sports fan too?
Oh yeah, she loves Michigan football. She's so involved in my hockey and huge supporter of everything I do. So she knows all about. I talk to her. She sits there and watches Sports Center for 2 hours every day with me, and she's awesome. So yeah, she knows all about sports and stuff.
Okay. My next question I wanted to ask you, Ryan, is when did you decide at what age that you wanted to pursue a career in hockey? Was it fairly young or was it when you were in your teenage years?
Yeah, I guess that's a great question because I knew I always wanted to play hockey, but I guess it was that year I was 16. That's pretty young to move away from home, and it's kind of when you decide if you're moving away from home at 16, you should probably take it pretty seriously because for the next 4 or 5 years, it's no matter what, it's going to be a part of your life, and whatever you do, you should definitely do it to your fullest. So I think about 16 years old, I decided I want to try to make it a profession and do it as a living. So just trying to live out my dream.
Yeah, when I played hockey, I only played house league. Obviously, I wasn't really good enough to play in the OHL, but when I played, I was a defenseman and goalie. And to this day, I still miss playing the game because it's like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, it's like hockey. Once you learn how to skate, it's fun no matter what age.
I know. No matter what, I want to be until I can't lace them up anymore. I want to play. So.
Definitely. And the number I wore in hockey was number 30, which is what Chris Osgood wore.
Yeah.
I had to ask you this, why I've got you on right now. What's with the number 22? Is there a story behind that?
So I was always 8 or 9. I loved Ovechkin and I loved Gordie Howe. So growing up, I was always 8 or 9. And then when I was 14, I remember the number was taken already. And I was going through my dad's old hockey pictures, and he was number 22. And he was like, yeah, it's just been my lucky number. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to take it on. So I took it on, and I guess I liked how it looked, and he was happy. So I guess that's the reason I wear it.
Oh, my favorite number is 19 for Steve Yzerman. I was a fan of Steve when he played in OHL with the Peterborough Petes in the early 80s. And they used to wear those hockey pants called Cooperalls. I don't know if you can ask if your dad would remember them.
He wore those, yeah.
Cooperalls, yeah, so did I. I had them, and they were the in thing for a couple years, and then they went away, and they never came back.
Yeah, they put them in the NHL, yeah.
Yeah, Philadelphia had them, Hartford had them, and I think a couple other teams. But I used to, when the ice was flooded and somebody would knock me down, I would go flying with those pants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I even had the Cooperall helmet, too.
That's cool.
I'm dating myself here. But just enjoy being young, because I'm telling you, once you hit 30, it just flies by.
Yeah.
So I've got some more comments from Sandra. And let's see. Sandra says, thanks, Ken, from the Flint Firebirds for watching support of one of my athletes. And Sandra, you're welcome. Ryan seems like, you seem like a good kid. I've only met you just now, but and
appreciate it.
And I'm trying to get my audience to engage more as well. And Ryan must be a fan favorite. And I was going to ask you about that too. What is it like playing in the Ontario Hockey League with the Hamilton Bulldogs and a city that has a long hockey history, especially with junior A hockey?
Yeah. Going back to what I said in the beginning, I mean, our fans are every night into it, and it makes it easier to play, gives you energy, and the support from them have been awesome. They're a hard-working, middle-class Steel City, so they love and support us, and I just try to play hard for them every night. So.
And I'm going to say this, even being a Guelph Storm fan, I think you guys have one of the nicest uniforms in the Ontario Hockey League.
Thank you. Yeah, they are pretty cool.
Black and gold, and it fits the city.
Can't go wrong with the colors.
No, black and gold for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and obviously for you guys. And also the Pittsburgh Penguins wear black and gold. Yeah, so, but definitely, which ones do you like better, the white ones or the black ones?
I would have to say we actually wore them a good amount this year. I don't know if you remember our stealth jerseys. Remember those? So they were all blacked out, pants, socks, jerseys, everything. And it was just kind of like a triangular logo with our Bulldog in the middle. Those were my favorite, but out of the two, home and away, I would say black. I
Black,
think they
yeah.
look nicest, yeah.
Yeah, I like the white too, but I'll be honest, the black is nice.
They
And
are.
that's the one thing I like about the OHL. They've always done this in 40 years that I've been following the league. They always do half the season with one color at home and then the other. And I think it's great for the fans they do that.
That's actually funny because of my first year, I had no clue they did that, obviously. So during that time when we switched, we always wear, if we're wearing away or if we're on the road, we'll wear our home colors for the morning skate, right, in the morning. And I just didn't even think to look what everyone else had on. I was just doing my thing, getting dressed, and I threw on the wrong color and came out for practice. I was like, we're away today. Like, what? What's the issue? Everyone's like, look at our helmets. Wrong color. So I had to go back. Got a little embarrassed, but.
Did you get razz for that for a few days?
A little bit.
Did ya?
Yeah, the guys gave it to me much.
Hey, I got to ask you this too. Is there a practical joker on your team? Somebody that
you know, I think if we took a vote on the team, they might say me, but I'm usually the one dishing out the jokes, but we have some funny guys on our team. Mark Duarte, he's a pretty funny guy, and yeah, our whole team likes to joke around, so but I think I might initiate it here and there.
Oh, and the thing is too, Ryan, being in the OHL, you're for that season, they are like your family. You spend more time with your teammates and your coaches and that than you do at home during the season.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. Is our teammates last year going on the run? We played, I think it was 101 games or something.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of it, so if you're spending that much time with anyone, you're going to become close with them. And I was lucky enough that they were all unbelievable guys and made it easier to go to work for them for, like I said, 100 games. So
I was going to say, and you won a lot of those games, 51, 12, 3-2 in the regular season for 107 points. And then through the OHL playoffs, 16-3, including a 12-0 start through the East, which was outstanding. I don't know if that's happened very often. Maybe a couple other teams have done that, but it's not.
I think that we tied the record.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say it's because you know this in the Ontario Hockey League, there's no such things as a give me game or put in 2 points in the bank. Every game is competitive.
Yeah, we've been to Sudbury, lost like 6-1, and then turned it around. I mean, like you said, you never know in the Ontario Hockey League, any team can show up and beat anyone. So it's definitely a learning lesson. Our first year going, we're kind of middle of the pack, losing a lot. And I think that definitely helped all the guys returning from that team kind of have that experience and want to win. So I think that's kind of what pushed us over the hump a lot of times. So.
And it's going to be nice to see the Eastern Conference teams over here now in Guelph, Kitchener, London this year. Have you played a game against the Western Conference since you've been in the OHL?
I have, yeah.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, my first year I played a bunch of them. Even preseason, we go over there.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to playing them more, definitely.
So hopefully I'll see you on September 30th because I'll be behind the camera for Rogers TV for that game against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I hope hopefully we can meet up.
Sure. Yes. And I was going to say, and I did deal with your coach, Jay McKee, after the game in Game 5, and he seems like a really pretty good guy. Pretty good guy.
He's awesome. Yeah.
Great NHL career as well, too.
Yeah, he's very professional and definitely knows what it takes as far as everything goes in hockey. So I'm lucky enough that he's our coach.
Okay, that leads to my next question, Ryan. Did you have any mentor or mentors when you were first starting up in hockey?
Yeah, my parents. I mean, my grandparents. They still come to pretty much every game or as much as they can, even though it's 3 hours away from home, and they help me through everything. Anything I have a question, I go to them. Sandra Murray, who is just on. She's been awesome. She does mental health work, knows everything about hockey that there pretty much is to know. Ontario Hockey League, she knows everything, so she's been awesome. My agent, Chris Lipkowski, he's there for me in a lot of ways too, and I just have a great support staff, family-wise, and people reaching out. And good people that are just willing to work with you, and they make it possible, really. So
now I got to ask you this, Ryan. Is this your overage year, or do you still get one more year after this eligibility?
yeah, I still have one more year after this year coming up, so I have 2 more years right now of eligibility. So
Okay. Now I got to ask you this. Sandra wanted me to ask you this, but I guess last year you went to the St. Louis Blues training camp.
no,
Okay. Me bad. I must have got that wrong, but
no, it's all good.
okay, no problem. Hey, mistakes do happen on the ice. They do happen on the podcast
Yeah,
show as well. So, okay. I wanted to, that's one thing about the mentor. I always ask a lot of my guests that question too, and any professions and stuff like that. Now, one of the questions I'm going to ask you later is how important is actually, I'll ask it to you now if you're okay with that. How important has the billet family been to you in your time with the Hamilton Bulldogs?
yeah, it's great. I don't think there's been a bad billet in the OHL that I've heard of. So, or in Hamilton at least. I can't speak for the rest of the league, but from the experience I've heard, they've been awesome. Mine's been awesome, and you're living with them. They're your new family. So,
Yeah, Sandra just corrected
Andrew
me.
Barrett, yeah,
Yes, he's coming on Wednesday. So
yeah,
hey, mistakes happen and
it's all
stuff like
good.
that. But I was gonna say, yeah, because people like fans don't realize how important behind the scenes that the billet, like obviously the coaching staff, the GM, the ownership of the team is important, but how important billet families are
Oh,
to
it's huge.
to a player. Yeah, off the ice and on the ice as well.
Yep, it's just like living at home. If you don't like your home, then you're probably not going to perform well. So I'm lucky enough to have, and I mean, our teammates in Hamilton as well have awesome billet families. So
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
Hamilton, from where you are in Michigan, how far is it? About 4.5 hours?
From my house in Detroit to Hamilton,
Hamilton, yeah.
it's about 3.5. Honestly, it's not too bad. So,
As long as the border's not bad.
yeah, as long as the border's not backed up, you can get 3.5, 4 hours easily. So
It's not too bad. And I can't wait till that new bridge opens up in a couple years, the Gordie Howe International
I
Bridge.
know that'll be nice. That'll definitely speed things up.
Definitely. And that leads to my next question, Ryan. I got to ask you this. How did you end up playing hockey for the Honeybaked U16 AAA team in the Detroit area? And what was that experience like? And tell us about some of your coaches in that program.
Yeah, so in Detroit, it's a lot different from other areas. High school hockey, you can kind of go from team to team, whatever team you can make. And I guess when I was 15, I played up a year with them going into my OHL season, and they were awesome. Head coach Billy Warren, he was a great coach. We did well. We made it to the state finals and lost in that. So yeah, it's a great organization, and they built a lot of good things leading into the OHL for me. So
I was going to say, and I believe Hall of Famer Pat LaFontaine was in that program many years ago, and Mike Madonnell, who's from Livonia, Michigan, was in that program, and a number of NHL players.
Yeah. Patrick Kane, actually.
That's true too. He's from South Buffalo, by the way.
I know.
But yeah, have you met him yet, Patrick Kane?
I have not.
No,
it'd be pretty cool to meet him.
Okay. Hey, Sandra wanted me to ask you something about a PBH hockey showcase that took place in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so during the COVID season, we didn't play that whole year, and me and Andrew Parrott, who's actually coming on Wednesday, who's one of my good buddies, Ryan Beck, and Brendan Hoffman, who all played in the OHL. At the time, we all got together, and Andrew Parrott, Brendan Hoffman were overagers. Ryan Beck was going into Saginaw at the time, into his 4th year. And obviously, having missed that year, it hurts everyone. And we just wanted to kind of play hockey and get out there, get in front of scouts. And us 4 boys took upon ourselves to start an LLC, get a tournament going, get the funding, hotels for all the players and staff, medical, rink management, the whole thing. So we got, I think it was 8 teams of 18 OHL players on each team, and did like a tournament style play with a draft year eligible all-star game. So it went really well. We had over 100 NHL registered scouts come out, and I thought it was pretty cool to kind of get something going during a bummer of a season and ultimately COVID that took it away. So I'm pretty proud of that. And the other 3 boys should be too. I thank them if they're listening. So, yeah.
I was going to say, was it at the Otters Arena that you used?
Yeah. No, it was outside. It was in Erie, but it wasn't at their facility.
Yeah. Nice facility there too, by the way.
Yeah, it's awesome. Our
Definitely.
Facility was unbelievable too. It was anything we could ask for. They did an awesome job of setting it up. So
I have to admit, that pandemic for a year and a half, couldn't do camera work, couldn't be at the arena. How hard was that for you as a young hockey player to go through a pandemic like that?
Oh, it was the toughest thing I've dealt with in hockey, because there's nothing you can do about it, right? It's your season's over, and it's what you do from then on out, I guess. It's how you train for the next season, mentally, physically, and emotionally. You got to kind of stay dialed in, and that was probably the toughest part. Tougher than any workout, tougher than any skate you'll be a part of. It's a whole mental thing, and coming back and having the season we did, I was definitely lucky enough and would say it was worth it. So,
what was it like your first day back on the ice with the team after being off for a year and a half from the pandemic?
It was the happiest I've ever been. I was smiling from ear to ear the whole time. So it was pretty cool. It was good to see all my best friends that I missed for a whole year. It was awesome.
I was going to say, and as myself as a camera operator, I think I appreciate doing the camera work even more now, because once you do something and you love it and it's taken away from you for whatever reason and it comes back to you, I think everybody seems to appreciate things even more than before.
Yeah, I agree. It stinks, but you appreciate things a little more. So
definitely. And and it's also going to be nice to have a normal OHL season where the Eastern Conference takes on the Western Conference teams again as well.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
And I think you guys get a new rivalry with those Windsor Spitfires.
Just a little bit, I think. Just a little bit. So.
Oh, and Sandra Murray, Erie Bank
Sports Park. Thank you, Sandra.
If I need to know something, Sandra will give me the answer.
Yeah.
She should be on Jeopardy, that TV show, Jeopardy.
Shame on me for forgetting that.
I think she'll forgive you, but I really think she needs to go on Jeopardy.
I think she should too. She would probably win. I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, and Ryan, that leads to my next question. You still good for time?
Yep.
Good? Okay.
Still doing good.
Okay. How has the game of hockey grown in the U.S. The past decade and in the state of Michigan currently?
I believe USA Hockey is definitely on the up and up. It's an unbelievable organization. You see the NTDP program, Michigan hockey. It's coming a long way. You know, obviously it wasn't as popular as Canada or even some overseas in Europe, countries like that. But I think the game's definitely grown in a positive way, and the more kids that play, and you got guys like Austin Matthews and Patrick Kane that come from here and, grow the game in a positive way. It's pretty cool. So I think USA and Michigan hockey are definitely growing in a good way as far as youth sports into juniors and into professional hockey goes. So
Now, who is your current favorite American-born player right now, and who are some other NHL players that you like or try to model your game after?
yeah, that's a good question. I would say my favorite U.S. hockey player right now is Austin Matthews. He's dominant and fun to watch every second he's on the ice. So
he's
it's pretty
Red
hard
Wings
not
killer.
to pick him right now. And then as far as the person I try to model my game after, I would say a little bit of a mix between like a Brendan Gallagher and a Brad Marchand, I guess. I like to kind of get under your skin, always work, but I think I possess a lot of skill and a lot of awareness on the ice and can kind of be put in any situation throughout the game. So, yeah.
What do you consider the strong part of your game right now? And is there a part that you want to improve upon for this year coming up?
Yeah, I think I am a hard worker, very good passer, see the ice well, and kind of I do whatever it takes to win at the end of the day and whatever the team needs. And as far as growing, I think I want to score a little more this year, be more of a shooting threat. And yeah.
I was going to, and I looked at your numbers last year, 25 goals, 37 assists, 62 points in the regular season. And in the playoffs, another 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. So overall you had 71 points last year and played a lot of hockey. And I think this year, what are your expectations for this year? Do you have any goals that you want to set for this year?
I'm actually right around this time, I usually set goals for myself going into the season about a month before we kind of get going with preseason stuff. So I actually haven't got to it, but like I said, I want to be more of a shooting threat, grow as a hockey player in all areas of my game and try to, ultimately sign a NHL contract and make it my living one day. So
hopefully it'll be with the Red Wings. I'm a huge Red Wing fan.
That would be awesome. Any team.
That's true. Yeah. Anytime you get drafted in the NHL, no matter which team, it's a privilege in that. I'm a little biased since I'm a Red Wings fan.
Me too. That's my team. At the end of the day, that's who I've rooted for my whole life. So playing for them, I wouldn't complain, let alone any other team, like I said.
A couple of days ago, I had the Red Wings public address announcer, Eric Freiney, on my show.
How was he?
Awesome. He talked to me for over an hour, and he told me how he wasn't even in broadcasting. He worked for ticket sales for the Toledo Mud Hands, and then they gave him a job as a public address announcer, and then he ended up and then I guess he did some work for the Cleveland Indians before they became the Guardians, and then he came to the Red Wings as a ticket guy, and then one day they asked him to fill in for Bud Lynch, the legendary Bud Lynch, who did the games at the Joe for many years and stuff, and they liked Eric's work, and that's how he ended up becoming the PA announcer for the Red Wings at the Joe and Little Caesars Arena.
That's awesome.
I hope hopefully you'll be able to watch that show on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll go back and rewatch it. I have to take a listen.
Yeah, he was telling me behind the scenes of what he does as a public address announcer and everything as well. So I reached out to the Red Wings, and they were nice enough to have me come on the show.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
I've been very lucky too. I've had Ken Daniels on and Darren McCarty on. So
I was gonna say it must be pretty cool.
Very lucky.
Interview all different personalities and see different aspects of sports. That must be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely some people know when they're young what they want to do. It took me 48 years to figure out what I want to do. But you know what? It's not how you start a game. It's how you finish a game.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely. Gonna ask you this next question. What was it like being drafted by the Ontario Hockey League's Hamilton Bulldogs, and how did that come about, and who from the organization contacted you and gave you the news that they drafted you from the Dogs?
So I was watching the draft with my mom, and I wasn't sure where I was going to go, even if I wanted to go to the Ontario Hockey League at the time. So I was just kind of skimming through. And I remember getting a call from Staios, and he was like, "Congrats, kid." And was that 8th rounder? Yeah, 8th rounder. So it was late in the draft, and I was like, I don't know if I even want to go. And then Jimmy McGroarty, who was a scout at the time, he actually works with Muskegon, funny enough now, but we've stayed in touch and we're still really close. And he was awesome. He's like, hey, go give Hamilton's camp a tryout. And that's when I went out and fell in love with it and told Steve I wanted to sign. So
I was going to say, and Sandra Murray wanted to correct me. 75 points total, including preseason as well. So I forgot about the preseason numbers too. So
she corrected you right away.
Definitely. So, but I was going to say, you know what? That's awesome. I love hearing guys' stories about how they got into the OHL and stuff like that. And Hamilton's only 40 minutes from Guelph. So I'm definitely going to have to come down to some more Bulldog games this year too.
Yeah, well, like you said, we open there, so I hope I can meet up after the game and
September 30th.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm even the preseason I'm pumped up for, because when something's taken away from you for a while, now even preseason hockey I look forward to. And the fans don't realize too how important it is for the players and for the coaching staff to have these preseason games as well.
Oh yeah, it's definitely needed to get ready for a long season. Studies actually show that it's good to get going a little bit before the season starts, and so you're not just going full board into it, pulling every muscle in the book and being injured. And I'm already itching to get back. I already missed the game. People are like, well, you just finished Memorial Cup a little bit ago, but
you're ready to get back.
If you're a true hockey player, you're ready to get back. And I couldn't imagine not playing the game. So I'm lucky enough to look forward to that instead of going school or to a job. Pretty fortunate. So, yeah.
And Sandra wanted to point out you were the 150th pick.
150th pick. There you go.
You know, you got the same sort of a story like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick, 199th overall.
Well, it doesn't matter where you go, it matters where you end up, right?
Absolutely. And look at the Red Wings, too, with Henrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsyuk, Nick Lidstrom, a whole bunch of their great Hall of Fame players. They were all drafted in the late rounds. So to me, and even if you weren't drafted and you make the team as a walkout, it's not always how you get, it's how you get there. And it's not always being the high number 1 pick either.
Yep, 100%. It's what you put in too. If I went 1st overall or 150th overall, I was going to work the same to try to make the team. So I
gotta ask you this too, Ryan. When does training camp start out for the Hamilton Bulldogs?
It starts August 30th.
August 30th. Wow. And is it at the training camp at the First Ontario Center, or is it on the Mountain Arena?
It's at First Ontario.
First Ontario. Okay.
Yeah, so August 30th at First Ontario.
Are you going to be staying with the same billet family this year, or are you?
I will not be, actually.
No.
I stayed with the Parise family last year, and I'm currently looking for one, so I don't know yet. But
okay. And I was going to say, and Steve Staios, he did a great job last year with you guys too. He was named the Ontario Hockey League General Manager of the Year as well.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable guy, unbelievable hockey guy, and away from the rink. So there's no surprise that he's built what he's built, for sure.
Now, is the owner Michael Anlau, or is he very hands-on with the team, or is he kind of just let Steve and the hockey guys run the team?
Yeah, he definitely lets that Steve and the hockey guys, handle most of the stuff. But he's awesome. His support alone, he is at more games of ours than he is with the Canadians. So he's awesome, and he's really personable guy and easy to get along with. And easy to play for. So
Yeah, he's done so much for hockey in the city of Hamilton the last 15 years. Oh, yeah. Because when they had the AHL in Hamilton, they were quite successful too, and they even won a Calder Cup championship there in 2007 as well.
Yeah, the history in Hamilton alone already is pretty incredible, thanks to those guys. So.
I got to ask you this too. We've already brought up Jay McKee, but how was the rest of the coaching staff with you guys last year?
Unbelievable. Andrew Campbell, Andreas Carlson, forward coach, goalie coaching. I mean, the whole staff was top of the line, elite organization. So I can't complain. I'm just lucky enough to be able to show up and play for them every day. It's pretty easy when you have a great staff supporting you like that.
Now, I don't know if you'll know the answer to this question, but a lot of the guys returning this year, are you guys going to have a lot of new guys?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure about signings and all that, but every year I think we build a pretty good team, and we should be competitive again, definitely this year. So
definitely. Now I was going to ask, did you have a particular favorite guys to play with, or you didn't mind whatever guys they put you on, or did they have you on a consistent line last year?
Yeah, I was pretty much the whole year with Morrison and Hayes, and they were unbelievable. They made my job easy, and we clicked right away. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I played with most of the season.
Chemistry. And I'm kind of fond of Morrison because he's from the Guelph area.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's one of my best buddies. So,
yeah, and I don't think he was drafted. I think he's got a bit of a story to tell too.
Oh yeah, he was undrafted. You should definitely get him on because he had over 100 points last year, and
that's not easy to do in the OHL.
No,
especially now.
It's crazy that he wasn't picked up, and I think he'll definitely sign. I know he's an awesome player, and he deserves.
And as a fan and a media person, the one thing I noticed when I saw you guys play was you guys were a hardworking team consistently. And was that one of the things Jay McKee and the coaching staff drilled into you guys? They wanted you guys to be always a hardworking team and hard to play against?
Yeah, that was his biggest thing is we knew we had the skill, made a lot of good trades, but there's been so many times in the past that OHL teams have gone for it, but they just get selfish and don't want to work and think they can just outscore other teams. And, every night that whoever we're playing, it might just be a Tuesday night game to us, but for them, they're trying to take out the top of the league. So every night was a battle, and he really drilled it into us, like you said, about being ready every night and going to work. So.
Okay. This question I wanted to ask you from Sandra too, and I was going to ask you this as well. During the beginning of the season last year, how hard was it to play in empty arenas without fans?
That was really weird. It was very different. I feel like I definitely feed off the fans and their energy they bring. So it was a little tough. You got to get yourself going. First 5-10 minutes feels a little weird, but we got used to it, and it was all right. But I'm definitely glad we have fans.
Yeah, same with doing camera work. It's not the same as without fans in the arena.
Can't be, no, yeah.
Definitely. We could hear a lot more yelling and talking from the guys when there's nobody in the arenas and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting. Right. But, yeah, I'm just so glad everything is back to normal again.
Me too.
Okay. You okay for a couple more questions, Ryan? Still?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, this one I had to ask you. When did you and the other players on the Bulldogs realize that this team had the potential and talent to do something special in the 21-22 season?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I can answer confidently that beginning of the year, we had a meeting and said, we're going to go for it this year. Like right away, we saw what our team already had, and we knew we were going to be one of the top in the league and had a lot of returning guys. So right away, Jay sat us down and said, we're going for it this year. Built an awesome culture, and we ended up doing what we said. So
I was going to say, and I was going to ask you this question too. Obviously, you didn't get to play the West teams last year until Windsor, but what is your favorite arena in the OHL to play in besides First Ontario Center? And which arena do you kind of dread going to play? Which arena, I should say, is the most difficult to play on the road?
Most difficult and favorite is probably like 50% of everyone else's, the Bud. Yeah.
I was going to say a good choice because the Knights are very hard to beat in that arena.
I know they are, and it's always a grind when you go in there, but it's also unbelievable experience.
Yeah, I've had both of their broadcasters, actually all of them on my podcast too, and they're really good guys, and Mike Stubbs and Jim Van Horn and Greg Sloan. And of course they want the Knights to win, but they know the league well, and they're very respectful for the other team's players as well.
Yeah.
So definitely, and they got a great history too. And it'll be nice to see you guys. I might have to come down to London to see you guys there too at the Budweiser Gardens.
You should, yeah.
Definitely. So actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I watched more of the OHL playoffs last year and the Memorial Cup than I did the NHL playoffs.
Well, both the seasons went like forever, it seemed like. So,
but I'm not complaining because I love hockey like you do.
I love it too. And
yes,
going from not playing a year to having the two choices,
definitely,
you can't complain.
Now, are you watching the World Junior Tournament by any chance right now?
A little bit here and there. I've been busy, but whenever I get free time, I have been checking on it. It's been awesome. Saw McTavish too.
Okay, I was gonna say, how do you feel the U.S. team will do in this tournament?
I think they'll surprise a lot of teams. I think they have a very good team, and like I said, they're growing. So every year they get better and better, and you never know anymore. They could shock a lot of teams. I think Canada's strong. They have so many good teams that you never really know, but I'm rooting for them, and we'll see.
I was going to say, and then they're going to have another World Junior Tournament, I guess, in December then, I guess?
Correct.
Well, hopefully I'll see you in that tournament in December. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed you get that opportunity. So, Sandra wanted to chip in on another comment. I think the Bulldogs became contenders when they consistently were able to fry my beloved Steelheads in Mississauga.
Yeah, she's got a point.
I was kind of wondering, Mississauga Steelheads. Okay, they actually had a good year last year too.
They were really good in the regular season, and then once we beat them in playoffs, we kind of knew, okay, we're going.
Yeah, and they have good ownership there, Elliot Kerr and stuff like that. My only concern is the OHL has not done long-term well in the Toronto area. Obviously, Brampton Battalion moved to North Bay, and then the St. Mike's Majors actually ended up moving to Mississauga. Then the Ice Dogs moved to Niagara a couple years ago. Yes or no? Can you see that team surviving there long-term, Mississauga? With fan support?
With fan support, I mean, they don't get the greatest fan attendance, but from what I've heard, they're doing fine, and their ownership has a ton of money, and I guess they're doing good. I have no clue the business side of it, but
the OHL
doing all right.
Yeah, because I was gonna say organization-wise, they've done a good job there, but it would be nice to see them get more fans because the fans really do make the atmosphere better for the players too.
I know.
You guys still have to play the game, but it just makes it a better atmosphere for the home team.
I agree. Okay.
And this question I wanted to ask you. Overall thoughts on your season last year with the Bulldogs, and what as a team, this one is basically as a team, what as a team can you guys improve on for the 2022-2023 season?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, overall, we ended up winning it, and we all had, great seasons, and couldn't have asked for more as far as the season goes. We played all the way to the last junior game possible. And I think this year we just have to build off whatever our team's makeup is and whatever our identity. That's all right. I think we just got to build, the good culture we had last year and kind of find what makes us good.
Okay. And I do this with my other guests too that are hockey players or athletes. Do you have any rituals or any superstitions before a game?
Honestly, no. But the one weird thing I do have, I guess, that I can think of off the top of my head is my tie. If we win and I have a tie on, I'll keep it until we lose, and I'll take it off until we lose again. So I guess that's just the one weird thing. I don't know why I do it, but I've always done it. So
how many ties do you have, and do you have a favorite color of tie?
I have a million. I don't have a favorite one. And actually, I shouldn't say that because I have 2 Hamilton ties that are just like black and gold or black and yellow, and they have Hamilton something like design on it, which is pretty cool. And those are definitely my 2 favorite, but I'll wear anyone, and I'm not that picky.
Yeah, because I know some of the Storm players, they would wear bow ties. So I guess everybody has their own style of bow ties or whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sander wants to say billets, parents, and girlfriends in the stands will be enough for the fish to survive. It's Ryan and the Bulldogs that they need to be concerned about. But Sander, I really do think this last run for the Bulldogs, I think their fan support will increase this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Just got a couple more questions I wanted to ask you. Let's see. Just one second. This is one I wanted to ask you. Okay. What were your final thoughts on the Memorial Cup tournament in St. John's, New Brunswick? What was that experience like, Ryan? And thoughts on that final game and the championship loss to the Sea Dogs? And were they as good as they were advertised, or did they catch you guys off by surprise or something like that?
Yeah, the Memorial Cup was unbelievable. St. John's, New Brunswick was beautiful, right on the ocean, and the tournament is all you can ask for. You're a little celebrity for the 2 weeks you're there, and the hockey is the best you're going to get. So I had an unbelievable time. You're being with your teammates, experiencing that with them too, your best friends. Can't ask for more. My parents made it up too, which was awesome. And St. John's was a great team. They just fired their coach, so they were hungry, ready to come into this tournament, and they had 12 NHL draft picks on their team.
Wow.
So they were good. You can't take that away from them, but we were definitely a little tired, and I think they caught us maybe a bit off guard, and we should have been ready, I guess, on our part a little better.
Well, and then Shawinigan was a good team, and Edmonton as well.
Oh yeah, any team, any player that was there was a good hockey team and a good hockey player. So it was definitely cool that I was just a part of it.
Being a Red Wings fan and as you as well, thoughts on Oilers King goalie Sebastian Cossa, who was drafted by Detroit?
Yeah, he was good. He was huge and could move really well. So I think he'll be a good player in the years to come. I'm glad that we beat him out ultimately. So I didn't get to see much of him, but from what I saw, he was a really good player.
Okay. And I was going to say, Ryan, last question, I'm going to wrap it up. I can't believe it's almost been an hour. I guess time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun. I don't even know what time it is, so it's all good.
So, yeah, when I do these shows, I try to ask my guests good questions and stuff like that, and some fun questions as well. And I try to make it a good podcast show for all my guests as well. And I really appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you for letting me come on. I'm having fun. Hope everyone listens having fun. Hope you're having fun. So
Definitely. And after the podcast is over, I'm going to download it to audio. So it'll be on Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor FM. And what I'll do is I'll send you a link to my audio podcast, and then you can listen to it later or share it if you wish to do so.
Awesome.
Okay. And this last question I wanted to ask you, Ryan, do you have any advice for those looking to pursue a career in sports as an athlete, hockey player, etc.? And where can my audience here in Guelph find you on social media if they wish to follow you and your hockey career?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Humphrey_22. And I would say, just for anyone looking to pursue a career in sports, as an athlete, just stick to it. You never know. I wake up some days, I'm like, I don't want to work out. Some days you're like, I can't wait to work out. You're never going to have a perfect day. So if you really love it, stick with it, and it'll end up paying off in one way or another, whether you think about it then or whether it comes later or not. So I would say just biggest thing is stick with it. As long as you love it, keep doing it.
And how important is somebody like a Sandra Murray to OHL players?
Unbelievable. I think everyone needs a Sandra Murray. She's not only, like I touched up on in the beginning of the show, she's not only good with knowing everything about hockey or any hockey questions you have or concerns or thoughts. She also helps, your mental. She cares about you as a person. So anyone in your life that you can surround yourself with like that is pretty cool.
And I was going to say, too, it's not just – I had one of the Niagara Ice Dogs' new head coaches on, Daniel Fitzgerald. Good guy, by the way.
Yeah.
And he said it's not just about winning hockey games. I want my players to have good character as well and prepare for life outside the game as well.
100%. It's just as big, if not bigger.
And I was going to say, I'm going to just – talking to Daniel on that, I think the Niagara Ice Dogs could be one of your contenders in the Eastern Conference this year with all the changes they've made.
Yeah, they're always different every year. So
yeah, they brought in a couple of guys. Well, they brought in Daniel Fitzgerald from the Brantford 99ers, and they got new ownership group with Wayne Gretzky as part owner of the Ice Dogs, and they brought in Pascual Zito, a Red Wings draft pick from the Windsor Spitfires, and they brought in Matt Pappas, an overager from the Guelph Storm. So I really think Niagara might be one of your challengers in the East this year.
Yeah, every team's good.
And that's what I love about the OHL. Every year is different, and 1 year a team can be down, and the next year they can be a contender.
Yeah, it's really the most 50-50 league I've seen. As far as, one team's really good this year, and then sometimes they're the last in the league the next year, and you never know. It makes it fun and exciting, though.
Definitely. Again, I want to say, hey, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on live with CDP Sports Podcast Season 4, Episode 21. And hopefully we'll see you on September 30th at the Sleeman Center. And then I'll come down to a game in Hamilton as well. And hopefully I can cover the team up in the press box again, but not doing the catwalk.
Yeah, no, we're not meeting on the catwalk, but I hope to definitely meet you soon. And thank you for having me on, and thank you to everyone who watched.
Thank you so much, Ryan, and Sandra as well. And give me about 20 minutes, Ryan, and I'll have this downloaded to audio, and I'll send you a link to it as well.
Sounds good. Have a good one, Chris.
You too. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my podcast today with Ryan Humphrey, a left winger with the OHL champion Hamilton Bulldogs. And before I wrap up my podcast show, guys, I'm just going to show you a little clip courtesy of the Ontario Hockey League of Game 7 between the Hamilton Bulldogs and Windsor Spitfires, which Hamilton won to advance to the Memorial Cup. 1 second, guys.
Keys to this point, both teams looking for 16. They can hardly wait to try and punch their ticket to the Memorial Cup.
Oh, this has got that big fight feel. And this crowd losing its mind as Arbor Jackeyes introduced.
It's appropriate that we're in a game 7 with these two teams because they're the two best teams in the OHL, and they've had a great series. And, one game to decide it all. I'm excited to watch it. I hope everybody else is too.
Morrison, Hayes, McTavish, Johnston, Zito, Cooley, Staios and Jackeye, Hano and Renwick. We're underway in game 7. Flips it along. Ryan Winterton, he'll collect. Winterton trying to step around Parrott. Thomas to McTavish. He scores! Mason McTavish with a little bit of magic to open the hockey game. 1-0 Bulldogs.
50 seconds left in the first, 2-on-1. And Constantini makes quick work of that one.
We've come to the end of one. Troy the Bulldogs with a 1-0 lead in game 7.
George Diaco on the backhand. The two-arms denied by an Eastern rebound. Trickles through the blue paint. Big stop.
Logan Morrison back to the point. Jackeye from the right. His shot deflect. Scores! Arbor Jackeye, the sheriff, with a whistle through the crowd. And Avery Hayes deflects it home. 2-0 Bulldogs. 7:03 left in the second. The Bulldogs with a 2-0 lead heading to the third period of game 7. This is goosebump time now. McTavish draws to Morrison again for Hayes. He scores! Morrison sets Hayes. The Bulldogs are jumping for joy. Could that be all? As Jackeye on the outside, out front, Mishak scores! Jan Mishak from Litvinov in the Czech Republic to Hamilton, Ontario, sets the hockey world ablaze. The Bulldogs are going to take this cup. Draw out high, knocked down, and that's into the open goal. All the way down the rink. It didn't take long. Hayes, hat trick. Toss him if you got him. The Hamilton Bulldogs are heading to St. John.
Next to a game 7 win in Hamilton, the Bulldogs are 2022 OHL champions, and for the second time in their history will play for the Memorial Cup.
Make room in the rafters. It's a 4th banner for the Bulldogs. The Robertson Cup belongs in Hamilton as destiny beckons the Bulldogs. What a team. What a night. What a moment. What a great celebration in Hamilton in front of a packed house. Oh, this is amazing. But there's a little bit more to come for these Bulldogs. They fly out to the East Coast. St. John, New Brunswick, get ready. A whole bunch of boys from the Hammer are coming. The Memorial Cup is next. And the Bulldogs open it up against the host St. John Sea Dogs.
The celebration is on in Hamilton as the Bulldogs become OHL champions and punch their ticket to the Memorial Cup.
Anyways, guys, that clip was courtesy of the Ontario Hockey League, and the Hamilton Bulldogs in 21-2022 had a tremendous season, winning the OHL championship, defeating Windsor in 7 games. And unfortunately, they didn't win the Memorial Cup, but they got to the final game against the Sea Dogs and lost 6-3. But the Bulldogs in the regular season, 51-12-3-2, 107 points. And then in the OHL playoffs, in 19 games, they went 16-3. They swept the Petes, they swept the Steelheads, they swept North Bay Battalion, and they beat a very, very good Windsor Spitfire team in 7 games as well. So anyways, guys, again, thank you to Ryan Humphrey for coming on. You guys can follow Ryan on Instagram at rhumphrey_22. That's rhumphrey_22 on Instagram as well. And I will put up where else you can follow the Hamilton Bulldogs. You can check out their website, hamiltonbulldogs.com. And you can also check out the Ontario Hockey League's website, ontariohockeyleague.com. The Hamilton Bulldogs will open up their preseason against the Erie Otters on Friday, September 2nd. And then the Hamilton Bulldogs defense of the OHL championship will be Friday, September 30th against the Guelph Storm, 7:30 at the Sleeman Center. And the game should be on Rogers TV. And I should be doing camera work. So I'm looking forward to seeing Eastern Conference teams this year in Guelph and in the Western Conference cities this year. And Hamilton is going to probably have another very good team this year. And like I said, I think Ryan Humphrey is going to be one of the Bulldogs' top goal scorers this year as well. I'm going to predict Ryan will score 35 goals this year. Last year he had 25, so I'm going to say Ryan gets 35 goals this year and 70 points. So again, Sandra Murray, thank you for putting us in touch with Ryan Humphrey, and really enjoyed speaking to Ryan as well. Before I wrap up my podcast show, guys, I just want to let you know my next podcast, Next Live with CDP Sports Podcast, is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, August 16th at 4 p.m. My guest is going to be Al Murdoch, the public address announcer for the Vancouver Canucks of the NHL, and he's also a well-known voice-over artist as well in Canada, in the States. So I'm looking forward to speaking to Al about becoming the Canucks PA announcer back in 2011 and following the footsteps of a legend, and also doing some voiceover work for stations in Canada and the US as well, and doing the NHL big events. So I hope you guys can tune in tomorrow, August 16th at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 on the West Coast. Al Murdoch from the Vancouver Canucks will be on, and the voiceover artist as well. And also, guys, looking for a vehicle, come see Randy at Guelph Toyota on 635 Woodlawn Road in the Guelph Auto Mall, or you can contact Randy at 519-837-3340. Extension 235. That's Randy at Guelph Toyota if you're interested in looking at a new vehicle or a used vehicle from Guelph Toyota. And they sell some very good vehicles, and I was looking at a RAV4, and Toyotas, you can't go wrong with them. So you can call Randy again at 519-837-3340 or extension 235, or visit their website, Guelph Toyota. Just Google it online as well. And like I do with all my podcast shows, guys, Live with CDP podcast, the audio version is downloaded to Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Castbox, and LinkedIn as well. So give me about 20 minutes and we'll be doing that as well. And also, guys, just to let you know, StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP podcast. I highly recommend StreamYard. Zoom is good too, but to me, StreamYard is the way to go for online streaming services. And also, you guys can follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP. That's at Live with CDP on TikTok as well. And I am going to have some new podcast shirts hopefully made up in the next couple of weeks. If you're interested, they're going to be about $15, and I'm going to redesign the shirts. So if you're interested in getting a podcast shirt for $15, send me a message, and hopefully by September I will have new shirts made out for my show as well. And there's some news coming up I'm going to be announcing in a couple of weeks as well with my podcast show. So cross my fingers, but I'm going to have some good news to share with you guys all. Also, you guys can check me out on wordpress.com/home/live with CDP podcast.wordpress.com. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing another blog in the next week or two as well. I need to get back to doing more digital writing as well. So that's pretty well it, guys. Again, I want to say thank you to my guest, Ryan Humphrey, for coming on season 4, episode 21 of Live with CDP podcast, my 186th episode. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's guest again, guys. Tuesday, August 16th, 4 o'clock Eastern, with Al Murdoch, the longtime public address announcer for the Vancouver Canucks. And we're going to talk to him about how he became the PA announcer for the Canucks and some of his other voiceover work that he does in Canada and the United States as well. And then Wednesday at 4 o'clock, I have former Windsor Spitfire, Western Conference champion, defenseman Andrew Parrott coming on. His dad, Nathan, played in the NHL with the Toronto Maple Leafs and Dallas and Nashville as well. So we're going to talk to Andrew about his OHL career with the London Knights, the Owen Sound Attack, and last year with the Western Conference champion Windsor Spitfires, and what it was like to go against Ryan Humphrey and those Bulldogs in the OHL Championship Series. And I believe Andrew this year is going to be up with Rockford Ice Hogs of the American Hockey League, and they're a farm team of the Chicago Blackhawks. So I'm looking forward to it. So tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Al Murdoch, and then Wednesday at 4 with Andrew Parrott with now the Rockford Ice Hogs, and looking forward to it. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody watching this live on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you already haven't. And thank you to everybody watching on Facebook Live and on Twitter at Chris D. Pame, if you wish to follow me there as well. So, and Toronto Argonauts have a game this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, BMO Field. Argonauts in Calgary, Stampeders, and the CNE comes back to Toronto on August 19th. So if you buy an Argos ticket this weekend or the 26th against Hamilton, you'll get free admission into the CNE and do the CNE as well as do an Argos game at BMO Field, which is a beautiful facility as well. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to wrap up my podcast show, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Al Murdoch. Again, I want to say thank you to Ryan Humphrey for coming on today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of Live with CDP Podcast, Season 4, Episode 22 with Al Murdoch, the PA announcer for the Vancouver Canucks. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, great evening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock for Live with CDP Sports Podcast. Have a great night, guys.